now? Yes, okay, but that's fine because as I can see, just very briefly, we had this introduction to what we were going to do on the case that we were going to work with, uh, and we were having. Oh, no, we were having over here the bee business on the boards here, and then we were going to pick one of the business model and then take it down to the B star, and then or if we want to create a new business model, then we will just take a bubble down. And then what I wanted you to do is I wanted you to find out how this business model will function. So it means that you have to explain on behalf of the work, the group work, you have to draw up the business model on the floor here for either one of the business models that you want to change over here, or if you want to have a new one, you have to put it down and then do exactly the same work as you did earlier. So this is the first part we're going to do, and then after that we will introduce a case of this the Rose Candy Tea Estate, which we visited yesterday, and we discussed in the car that this is a very interesting business. Um, and if you can cope with that, we might be because you are going to go for another session, isn't it? Or are you staying here for the 2 hours? Okay, but yeah, I was just thinking about then we could give some information on the Rose Candy Tea Estate before we go into that work here, so that you get just some general information about what we are thinking about. So shall we do that, and then we will add some information on what we have experienced yesterday. So let's start there before we go to the bee business thing. So yesterday we visited a business, and this business was called the Rose Candy Tea Estate, and it is a business that is not far than, how much is it? About a half an hour from here in car, 15 kilometers from here, and I don't know how many of you know about it. Uh, we have been lucky to be able to visit it yesterday, and it was the CEO of the business, manager of the business, yes, and the business has all these production buildings over here, and this case is a little bit more challenging than the other cases that we have worked with until now. Uh, but because you are so smart students and you are so quick learners, then I dare also to put it in front of you, because many of the things that we have talked about, they have already implemented in the business. So it has a very, very large amount of tea bushes. And I would actually recommend you to write down immediately the information, because you will only get them now. And then you have to map it up over here. And if we are lucky, I don't know if it's possible, then we could invite the manager over here so he could see what you have done. Because I don't think he has seen his business like this before, mapped. And he was so eager to collaborate with NIT Silja. He said, how can I get in to work with NIT? He was even teaching because he's working with Assam University. So now I don't hope I'm provoking here, but the thing we met him in the business here, and then he drove us in the jeep around the whole tea garden, so to say. And what we have planned is that we'll complement each other with information, and then your job is to map it up. And there is a case out there written by the dean of Assam University. So if you go one slide more, and one more, this Professor Amrit Lal Ghosh, he has written a case, and it is about 20-30 pages. So you can go and have all the information in this. And which is interesting is that this business has done much better than comparable businesses. They get higher prices for their tea in a market that is has gone down for sometimes. Case study starts in 1990, and all the information is available. You can see how much production amount is. You can see prices. You can see competitors. You can see the production, the machinery, and everything. What we have done is also we have left some videos I found over the night on the internet, and one of the videos is with a Chinese delegation. I think so. I couldn't exactly understand the language, so it might be a different group, but they are actually taking you around the whole factory. And yesterday, everything was closed down. So we were walking in between machinery that was kind of being repaired, amended, and so on to be ready for the production. Yeah, for the next season. You must supplement me if there is anything I am forgetting.
Basically, what they said was this is not the month of production. As you know that here from November to January, end of probably to February, this time is very cold over here. So the best season for the plucking of the tea leaves is between when the temperature is probably above 15 degree and is between 30 degree. So at time, if you see over here, the night temperature is around 17. The precipitation is also not so much what is required at this moment. So that is the reason these 3 or 4 months they do not pluck any of the leaves, any of the tea leaves. So they also showed us so that was the only reason why the machineries inside. Say for machinery, when I think to tell about the machinery, it is first drying the leaves, then oxidation, then to weigh them, then to decide upon which quality of tea leaves would be useful, which are the better quality leaves, and etc. etc. So all these gradation system is basically possible into the machinery which they have. That present, since they are not plucking any leaves because the season doesn't support the best possible time for plucking of the tea leaves. So right now the machinery is closed. Most of the machines are getting upgraded, repaired, so that they can start probably from the month of April, March I think. From the month of March, they'll again start with the plucking and the production stage will again start. That's what they do.
And if we jump to the video, just to give you a glimpse of uh, this. Yes, this one. Maybe it's Indian. I don't know.
Sir, this is our alumni.
Sorry.
This is MIT Center alumni.
Ah, okay, okay. Sorry, I thought it was Chinese because the sound was not so. Sorry about it.
Alumni. Every year alumni.
Okay, okay. Sorry,
So
sorry.
they have been taken to because I remember the bus. We still have these buses,
Okay.
but since it has already crossed this 20 years period, so it's now not.
Okay, it was just this young man. He looked a little bit Chinese, so I thought that it was okay. Sorry about that. I am very sorry. But if you scroll a little bit on this trip here on the video, just a little bit, a little bit more, a little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. Here, here you can see into production, and you can actually see how they treat the leaves. Everything is shown in the video. Let me see if you go a little bit here. Yeah, maybe here. Here you can see the very. Here's all the leaves. Yeah, and and this video actually is a walk through the whole production until it comes out. And what he told yesterday is that ladies are the best to pick the leaves. Men can be used for everything else, but the ladies are the best.
Because they're very delicate and
Yeah.
soft touch
Yeah.
is required for the peelings.
Yeah. You know, men they just grab the bush and then go like this. The women they look for the very good leaves. If you see here, this I didn't understand yesterday. It had no fence on and so on, and I couldn't understand what it was. But then suddenly in the video it came. I found out that this is drying. I think so. Yeah. Yes. And then there's a lot of pictures around the production, and and you can also maybe imagine that this this takes a lot of energy, and that in the next video you will see that they have actually gone in and tried to cope with that challenge. Let's go a little bit further on. Yeah, let's start here. Yes, I think what you can see here is a lot of belts and so on that are doing several things with the tea. And what they told yesterday, I think that's what I learned out is that you have to, if you want to make black tea, you have to give it oxidation, and if it's green tea, not. So this there are two different concepts, and then I was told by a young lady down here that this business do not do these. Uh, yeah, they don't do the tea bags. They only do it in yeah, yeah, yes, yes. And here you can see some of the end uh, where the tea comes out, and all are special made machinery from in cooperation with manufacturers that they have been worked with and innovated with for many years. Uh, and they continuously innovate. I can also see in their accounting that they are investing a lot of money in this. I think that is, yeah. And here you see some special machinery that can cut and squeeze the leaves. As I understand on the case, but you can read also it, they have only one agent, and he is placed in Silja. Did you know that? and he is taking care of all distribute and sales in Southeast Asia, and Middle East, yes. And Middle East is one of the largest export markets for their business models. So if I take it to the business modeling, you can see we have green tea, we have black tea. They don't do any tea with where they mix vanilla and something else into it. They don't do it. uh, they think that is out of scope for their core business. And then if you stop here, you see the old tea and other things that wood and so on, that they recycle that. So you see what we have talked about, they are actually doing all the things that we have been talking about since we started here. And as I understand, uh, but might be wrong, they burn it and make it into coal.
Yes, no, coal was they used coal initially.
Okay.
They used coal initially. So
Yeah.
now what they have done is that I think what they were saying is that they're using the solar production also at this moment.
Yeah, I have a video on that, but this one, how do they treat this waste here with the old tea?
With the old tea waste.
Yeah, yeah.
So they probably have some mechanism to again recycle those tea waste with the help of some of the logs were there, the wooden logs were there.
Okay.
They probably combine them, use them for recycling.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on how they did it. I just thought that he said in a side sentence that he burned it and made it into something coal. Yeah, coal can is not always stone. It can also be made from tree, and the tea plant is very, very hard.
The root is very hard.
Yeah,
So they use that also.
yeah. So what he told us is, because we asked him, and you can also see it in the case, is what is the largest challenge for you? And before we go there, I just want to show you the other video. If we can drop out of this one and then go into yes, this one with this. Yes, you can just see. So they have invested heavily in solar cells, heavily. You can see both on the roof, and then they have taken some of the field and put solar cells over there. I saw some old pictures. It's not that. Many years ago since they did it, and the sound. We Yeah, yes. Here you can see the tea leaves. And of course, this is a promotion video from the solar business. So You saw this big construction, and I guess the solar business has been valuing very much for this because they got new customer. Uh, but what we also discovered yesterday and realized was that the manager, he was very happy about this solar cell because it actually made him have a business model more, because he was very proudly leading us to one of the big boxes where there was a monitor showing how much solar kilowatts he was producing. And that actually gave him an opportunity, because he was not using it himself, to sell it to the grid. So you see, we have the tea, and now we have also the solar as a business model. So when you map it up here, you have to remember also to take this into consideration, that he is actually having another business model in his business now, and it's actually producing when the tea is not.
So at this moment, what he's doing, he's sending, say for example, they're generating some 400, I think, megawatts or something like that. So out of which they are returning 300 back to the Assam APTCL grid, and they're earning money out of it. So probably it's 15 rupees per something. That was what they told us. So
Yes.
this is also their new business model. So they're not only making money out of the tea, but in the off season they're also making money out of this, because they're obviously sending the energy back to the Assam grid is APTCL and earning money from it. So that is also a win-win situation for them, what they told us.
Yeah. Yes. And so now we can discuss: is it a solar electricity business or is it a tea business? I don't think he has seen that angle before. But please remember to take it on when you map up here. You remember mapping on the B board, and also on the reverse butterfly. So business model on both sides, and then of course you could start to use your terms on business model portfolio, because you have the T and so on. So we are motivating you to try to map it up here like this. And then another thing is the T. The T needs water, and it's not still water that is standing still. It has to float, and then he has a challenge, because he told us that the water underground he cannot really use, or he don't like to use it. He wants to use the rainwater. And I understand from the talk with him that it has something to do with that in the groundwater there is some minerals, and it's not good for the tea. So it means that he is depending very much on rainwater, and then he tries to steam it up in some. You must correct me if I.
No, no, you're right. So what they do is that they have a stream kind of a thing running parallelly to the tea garden. So that is usually used for storing your rainwater, and then obviously they culture it, use it for some. And during the off season, they collect the water from there. So there are very big pipes which are running kilometers. So those pipes are actually transporting the water to the tea, various parts of the tea garden. So that is a very good thing. So they are storing. So you have a stream. Let's say you have seen a lake. So it's a parallel lake running parallel to your tea garden, and from there they're collecting the water in the off season and then transporting it to the various tea leaves. So so they have the sprinklers. The sprinklers are used for spraying water. So during, especially in the off season, I don't think from March onwards they would require that, but at least the last 4 months they're using.
And then we come to what he sees as the largest challenge, and that is the climate change, because the temperature and the weather is changing very much, and one of the things that is very damaging for them is that the water, rainwater, comes very, very hard suddenly, and it maybe stays on for 15, 20 days, and that is hurting his tea. They're not. It's not so good for them. So therefore, if you look at the case, you will also see that they have taken, I think it's up to 5% out of their turnover that they have put into a certain pool of only reserved for research and innovation. That's why they want to collaborate with universities, because they are interested in finding out new things. So one of the things, and you can note that down also as a business model, that is they have started to produce raw material for perfume industry. One part of the tea garden is now into some raw material for perfume. And then I dare, because we haven't talked that much about it, but this is something that you will going to learn if you come to the summer school. That is how to ask the good questions to the managers, and ask the questions that he or she normally do not answer. And then in a side sentence, I asked him, what about this perfume here, raw material? Is that a better business model than tea? And then I could see he was nodding. The jeep was pumping, but I could clearly hear that this was something that was very, very interesting for him. Uh, and they have more experiments in it. Uh, and That's why this is also something I would like you to map up here. And I have a dream, if he could come here within the next 2-3 days when you are finished with your mapping, and then we'll show him what you have found out. And maybe there was somebody that could have a PhD in digital marketing or whatever. I don't know, because I could see that he's sponsoring also I could see in his papers they are sponsoring research. Uh, I feel there could be an opportunity, and there is also in the case described several things they do on marketing. Let's see, that could maybe also be an opportunity. So he clearly told that the largest challenge is climate change, and then he had a long speech in the yard where he told about that young people, how can we deliver the globe to them so it is better, or that they also feel responsibility of having clean air and not having harsh climate change and so on. And here he says that there is a big challenge because it's very, very difficult to come in contact with young people. Uh, he told also about that it is that they are very interested also to go into recycling of other things, like for example plastic. Um, he had of course this was what he was talking about. Uh, you can have a lot of dreams on the left side, but if some students come and say, okay, now we are there. Please see, we have some business model here to be. Are you going to take them up? And we said to him, what if an employee comes with a business model to be? Are you willing to look at it? And he said, yes, we are inviting all our 1,500 employees. 1,500, I think it was. But then he said, I don't know exactly if the number is correct. He said there was about 5,000 school children. Was it? Yeah,
3,000.
3,000 school children living in this tea garden, and they had their own school. So now I'm talking about business model. So they actually have a school inside, going up to seventh class. And you can also see in the case, all employees, they are given their own house. It's a kind of a standard house. They are also able to open shops inside the tea garden. So when we were driving around, they have they had small shops, the families, where you can buy.
Ration and all those things.
Yeah,
Daily ration,
yeah, and
groceries.
yeah, and he then also told that all employees are given a part of the tea garden where they can grow rice, their own rice, and they don't. There were no business in that for the tea garden as such business. It was for them to grow their own. Uh, yeah, so they didn't take any money as far as I understood on it. And now we are actually touching on the social dimension of the what we have talked about. You see the triple bottom line when we have the green, and then we have the business, and then we have the social part, because this is like a community where they are very much looking after that the employees, they have a place to live. They have a place also where they can live with growing their own stuff, and so on. So then you remember I showed you the relationship axiom. You remember where we had the first view was the business model. Then we have the business model related to all the other business models inside the business. So if I just make a relation to the rose candy tea estate, then it is the relations between the different business model. For example, the solar, the tea, the perfume, and so on. But then if we move out, then you also have the tea gardens business model related to their suppliers and their customers. And not least the middleman here in Silka, the agent. So it's a whole kind of ecosystem, and this is what I would like very much. And don't feel limited to just map everything over here. You could also take some other papers and whatever you like, so that you can show the ecosystem and how it works. And then he expressed that he feels that sometimes um, his business, so to say, if I put the fourth quadrant, you remember we talked about some business models are not related to other business models. So what he is thinking about is and this is some of the things that he would like in the future to do. That is, he would like to have more relations to universities and young students, because he wants to kind of knowledge transfer and collaborate with some that he's not related to right now. Do you get my point? And this could also be something that you could come up with and say, okay, how does he do that? We propose this and this thing. And again, he said, if anybody has used plastic, then he would like to have that into a business model where they actually do something with the plastic, so it turns into some. And I don't think it's limited to plastic. It can be any kind of waste as such. Have I forgotten anything? You have got a lot of information. You have the videos here. You have the case. So you should have enough information to be able to set it up here. And if you want to use PPT, you can also use your some PowerPoints to show it. And then maybe we are lucky that the manager can come here. But anyhow, I would love to see how you work with it. And then back to what we talked about on Saturday. That is, remember all to define the task with the 7 points and 7 dimensions. Remember to classify the one that you go with, how risky it is related to complexity, radicality, and then reach. And you remember, the more business model you change, the more complex it gets. The more you change each dimension, the more radicality, the more you touch upon ecosystem that is not close to your business, the more we get into what we call disruption, and that is risky. We get into red zone. Okay, have we finished the first round around the tea candy? Mostly, yes.
So overall, he was talking about reducing the carbon footprint,
Yeah.
which he told us in the last. So that our
Please.
message gets passed on to all others.
Yeah.
What he was doing.
Yeah, and he's feeling it very close to his business, because he's seeing that the rain gets much tougher because of climate change. So that naturally he says, "I want to change it, but it's some power, it's some drivers out there that is very difficult to do something with. If not, we gather together."
Especially during this road also, he was talking about.
Yeah.
There's too much of jam after 4 p.m. or around 10 a.m. Nobody follows the traffic rules. That also is leading to some increase of carbon footprint at the end of the day. More pollution.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
overall, it affects our system. Actually, in a way, he's right also, because climate change has been a problem. Not only here, everywhere. You find rainy season sometimes coming very early, the summers extending, the winters getting reduced, temperature taking an abrupt fall. So these are all reasons behind it.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I think we will take a 5 minutes break, and then we will go to the back to the case on the bee business. So you show this, and then we have finished that. Then we will go to the rose candy tea estate business. Yeah. Okay. I'll